Hi, my name is Francis, and this is a video of an exercise program completed on the 23rd of November. Here I have with me Toby. Say hello, Toby.
Hello.
So Toby here wants to be a bodybuilder. Although we do have a little bit of a posture issue that we should address before we start strengthening anything. So the whole rounded shoulders thing, we just want to activate muscles so that we can work on that positioning throughout everyday life, basically. So we're going to start with, I guess, a warm up, assault bike, just to warm up, just to get the body temperature up. So around 5 to 7 minutes total work. We're going to do 30 seconds, just medium pace, just like that. Yeah. Then we're going to rest after 30 seconds. We're going to rest for around 10 15 seconds. And then it's going to repeat that a few times. Just a little bit of, we're not going all out here. We're just trying to get the blood pumping. So we're going to start with a little bit of activation / stretch. So we're actually going to go over to the pull down machine. So come with me. Perfect, it's already set up. So, yeah. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna hook our legs in, make sure there's some weight on the. So we don't want to start with body weight at this. We don't want to start with our body weight at the start, because obviously we've got to build up the things. So we'll just start with. How much do you think? So basically just hang and hook your legs under. And what we're going to do is just relax our upper back. So let our scapula. So try to breathe through this position, try to relax. Stretching. So we're loading the muscles at the same time and the tendons. So we're actively stretching. So we're strengthening as well, not just stretching for no reason. So this is just going to allow for more range of motion through the scapula. So after a few seconds holding, what we're going to do is we're going to retract our back. So pull the scapula down and back, and hold that for a couple seconds, and then let it come back. And we're just going to do that 5 times. Remembering to brace the abs as we do it. So pull it down, flex the abs. Do that again. Breathe out at the top and relax. Let that stretch get deeper, and then just do a couple more. Awesome. Good job. Alright. So, when it's done, so next we're going to do a banded face pull. So all we need is a light band. I like a red band. It's a little bit tougher, but it's good. Gotta have a little bit of resistance. Basically, from a face pull, all you need to do is keep your body stacked and pull to your face, right? So I like to think elbows up and hands to face, or hands to forehead, I guess. Now in this position, we've got to make sure we're still doing the same things that we're doing before. We're bracing our abs. We're pulling that scapula back and down, and we're rotating at the humerus. So we're trying to really pull that hand back. Holding that position for a second or two. And coming back, letting the scapula come forward. Alright. Nice. Bring your hands towards your ears. You can go over your head. Nice. Pull that scapula back and down. Nice. We'll just do a few of these, just pausing. Make sure we're bracing, make sure we're rotating at the humerus. So we're trying to pull that hand back in line with the elbow. Just a couple more. Nice. Retracting, depressing the scapula as well. And this one, boom, and brace those ribs. Good. Nice. Okay. Next, we're gonna do my variation of basically a scapular push-up. I like this because it's a bit more, I guess, harder but also easier. That's what I'm trying to say. So basically, all we need is a wall and a foam roller. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to activate the serratus here. So we're trying to drive our elbows into the foam roller. Remembering to brace again. Make sure your stance is square. And we're leading with the elbow, right? We're leading with the armpit. We're trying to drive through. And that's my range of motion. So if you're doing it like this, that's wrong. So you shouldn't have too much wrong unless you're really mobile. So drive those elbows in, push that back away from the wall. Yeah, nice. So start a bit lower. Yeah, really try to push that back away. And as you come up with the elbows, you lead with your armpits. So don't shrug, no shrugging. Keep the, push away. Try to, am I allowed to touch you?
Yep.
Yeah. So try to push your back against my hand. Like try to, that. Now, now lead the elbow. There you go.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's a good position. So hold that for a couple seconds, come back down, and we're just going to do a couple reps here. So remembering to brace. Nice. Good. We'll just do 2 more. Good. All right, so that concludes the warm-up for our upper body. Now we're just going to do a quick lower body warm-up. So, first I'm going to start with a little stretch. I like this stretch because it kind of hits a bit of both lower and upper at the same time. So it kills time, makes things a bit more efficient. Did I bring a stick? I forgot the stick. We don't need the stick. We don't need the stick. So basically, lunge stretch. In this position, we're trying to squeeze our glute, trying to brace our abs, and we're thinking about driving the knee towards the foot. Boom. We're holding that for a couple seconds, and when that gets easy, we make it harder on ourselves by trying to reach over to the side, keeping that torso stacked, so we're not really forcing anything, we're just trying to reach. Now, if we had a stick, it would be better. I could just move your head. Alright. Squeeze the glutes. Make sure. So the stretch comes from how hard you can squeeze the glutes, basically. So don't try to move anywhere. It's all just in the contraction. And then we're trying to drive that knee. So you're bringing that knee forward, bringing this, push back, and bringing them together. Yep. Nice. I'm gonna hold that for about 15 to 30 seconds. We'll just do 5 seconds. And then we're gonna do the other side, of course. We'll just do the other side. So. Really try to drive that knee forward. Try to make them move forward. Good. Alright. The next. We're going to do a little core activation and slash adductor activation. All we need is a little box or bench. We're just going to get into a 90, is that camera right? So we're gonna do a 90-90 grooving slash bracing movement. I don't know what to call it. Let's just call it that. Basically, 90-90. So 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Put a foam roller in between the knees, and all we're doing here is we're trying to learn how to breathe properly. So we're not using our chest. We're using a diaphragm. We're breathing into that direction. We're trying to breathe as low as possible. So try to like sip through a straw. That kind of helps. And then as we hold our breath, we're trying to expand out. So So try to flatten that lower back out against the floor and hold that for a second.
Are you squeezing your legs together?
I should be squeezing my knees together at the same time.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I'm also sweating. Yep. Yep, squeeze the knees. So try to breathe. So relax and breathe into your lower belly. And this is the hardest part. If you can get it straight away, it's fine. Now I'm just gonna put my hand on your lower back. You're just gonna flatten out my hand. So, yeah, now relax. Okay, now we're just gonna do a few more of those. Now, flatten out my hand. Good. Should squeeze forward. Nice. Good. Okay. We're just gonna do two more of those. Nice. Now relax. Deep breath in now. Try to expand as much as you can. Squeeze. Good. Okay. Nice. Alright. Feeling okay?
Yep.
Not lightheaded?
Nope.
Last thing we're going to do for a lower body warm up is hamstring / glute activation. So it's and adductor activation again. So it's a single leg glute thrust. Very simple. So basically, 90 degrees. Don't get too close. Don't get too far away. The further you are, the more hamstring. So if your hamstrings are feeling a bit off, maybe just do a few of those far away. But if we're trying to activate everything evenly, try to get 90 degrees. Brace the abs. And now, extend up. Hold that for a couple seconds and come back down. We're going to do 8 each side. Bracing and trying to almost tuck our butt under. So, bring that foot a bit further. Yep. Remember that bracing technique we just did? We're going to do that and we're going to flex trust up. Squeeze, make sure we're flexing the abs, bracing. Good. Make sure you're bracing, make sure you're flexing, breathing into those abs. Flex. Yep. Nice. Hold that. Nice. Alright, that concludes our warm up. Next. So, I'm going to start with a pushing exercise, followed with 2 pulling exercises, as recommended by the AHP. So, we're going to start with an overhead press, since this, in my opinion, is one of the most beneficial pressing exercises you can do. So, again, make sure your stance is square, flex your glutes, brace your abs, make sure you're opening that chest up. We're not rounding our shoulders, we're trying to bring the shoulder blades back and down. Bring your elbows up and get into position. All we're doing is pressing up. Pressing up, push your head through. So we're not leaning back too much, push your head through, come back down. Remember, we're not rounding, that's the main thing. So, shoulder blades back and down. Bring those elbows in a little bit. Yep, good. Brace, abs, flex the glutes. Good. Nice. Just gonna do 8 reps. Nice. Those elbows in, brace the abs. Nice. Bring shoulder blades back and down. Shoulder blades. Pinch my finger. Nice. Nice. I'll do for now. Okay. Single arm pull downs. All right. So we're gonna go over to the machines again. Perfect. So with single arm pull downs, we want to make sure we're leading with the elbows and we're bracing our abs still. Okay? We're not pulling our shoulder blades back and down in this position. We're trying to isolate the lats. So a lot of people hit their upper back and other back muscles. There's a lot of back muscles, but we're just trying to focus on the lats. So brace the abs, lean back a little, lead the elbow into the back pocket. Now you can crunch a little bit to make the contraction a little better. But basically the idea is to lead to the elbow. We're trying to almost like arc the elbow away from us. Does that make sense? So lean back slightly, brace the abs, lead the elbow, move the back. Good. Yeah, try not to twist, we're not twisting our body, we're just crunching to the side. Good. Pull that elbow all the way down. Try to like pull to the earth. Yeah, nice. Try to feel that lat as you come up. Almost protract as you come up. Feel that stretch. Boom. Hold it. Track. Good. Now we'll do the other side. Was that 4?
Yeah.
Good. So we're flexing the abs. Just gonna put my hand here. First squeeze. Squeeze. Good. Good. Nice. Feel that?
Yeah.
Good. Good. Means it's working.
Yeah.
Seated rows were right there. Should have brought the paper. Alright, seated rows, pretty simple. So, for seated rows, we're going to use a closer grip. And the main thing about seated rows, there's a lot of ways you can do it. Again, if you want to hit your lats, you got to retract. If you want to hit your upper back, retract. So, you can change it how you want. For now, we're just going to, we'll just go back field. Stay contracted for the first part. Feel how that feels, do a few reps there. Now let those elbows come out as well. So you feel those lats kind of expand. Now if you want to come back, squeeze back. So we'll do 4 each. Shoulder blades forward and pull the elbows, flex those abs. Nice. Let those elbows flare out. Try to flex those lats, expand. That's 4. Now we're going to retract back and down, pull it towards your upper chest, or lower chest, sorry, sternum area. Boom, squeeze back and down. Squeeze back and down. Nice. Feet. To the goblet squat. So basically to perform the goblet squat, all we're doing is we're holding some weight at our chest in a comfortable position. Doesn't really matter how, as long as it's comfortable. And we're just sitting back, keeping our chest upright, pushing our knees out, pause at the bottom, and come back up. We're just going to do a couple of those. A couple cues to remember is to screw your feet into the floor, like that one. Yeah. And chest up, holding at the bottom. Nice. Now brace. Good. So as you can see, Toby here is leaning forward nicely, so we don't have to correct anything there. Common mistake is trying to stay too upright when your body doesn't allow it. So he's doing that right. He's doing that right. Up there. Hey. All right. Double sit flex. Works too. Yeah. Doesn't have to be too high. Just a small elevation. So, double stiff leg. What we're doing here, we're remembering to push our toe down. We're squeezing the floor with our feet. We're shifting the hips back, keeping that lower back straight, bracing the abs again from before that we did. Same thing. And we're keeping those lats tight. Pause it at the bottom, come back up, squeeze the glutes. Don't have to overly do it, just come back up. And you'll feel it when you squeeze the floor hard, you can feel your whole leg kind of tense up. So, boom, just like that. Toes down. Bracing the abs. That's it. Okay. Very nice. I don't really have to correct any of these.
Do you want me to do stuff too?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No, just
Yeah.
do it right.
Yeah.
If you do it right, it makes my life easier.
Yeah, yeah.
Hamstring curls. So we're gonna do some hamstring curls just to finish up. Leg routine, just a little bit less intensity. Since we did a little hamstring stretch, I think we might as well finish it off with a contraction for proper development. So if you want, take a seat over here.
Me.
Yes, please. Oh, should I do this first? Yeah, I should demonstrate. Okay, so demonstrating. So with hamstring curls, I think the common issue, people like to pull their toes up like this and try to curl. So, and I end up feeling like, why don't I feel hamstring curls? Because you're not using your hamstrings, right? So basically, keep your toes pointed and try to curl. And this is not right. Make sure you set up the equipment right. I'll help set it up before we choose anything. Yeah, there we go. So keep the toes pointed, flex those calves, and then curl. Try to hold that contraction. Try to make yourself cramp almost, and then come back down. Control it. Until good. Toes. Now does that kind of feel uncomfortable? Toes out and then really try to hold that contraction. Just squeeze it. Boom. And then slow it down and come back. So if you perform every rep like this, you're going to grow your hamstrings. Save it. Yep. Last one. Squeeze, make it down. Alright. So that concludes Toby. Now we're going to move on to Tara. Let's just go back over here, please. How you feeling? Good?
He's that actually for some, I don't know why that got me. But it was like really light.
Yeah. Alright, that's nice. Alrighty. So, moving on to Tara. Tara is a hockey player, trying to make it states. She wants to focus on her speed, agility, and stability. Well, I want her to focus on her stability, because stability is probably the most important thing. You don't want to be falling over when you're running around, right? You want to be changing directions and still be on your feet. So you got to work on those three. So we're going to start with we're going to skip the warm-ups because we're already warmed up. And we're going to just go straight into the workout. So, in the box. We're just going to do some lateral drops, lateral single leg drops. So Just gonna get onto the box. And all we're gonna do is get into our sprinter stance. We're gonna drop down onto one leg, keeping our torso braced and stacked. So, I've never done this before, so. Whoa, that was horrible. Let's do that again. So, landing onto one leg, don't let the knee. Yeah, that's better. So we're just gonna do a few of those, each leg. Okay. So full brace, landing on that leg. Nice.
Well, it's a little bit hard, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice. Just do 4 each leg. Nice. Okay. Lean forward, core, brace. Boom. Nice. Hold that position for a couple of seconds there. Set out. Boom. There you go. Boom. Last one. Sweet. Next. Bound and stick. So next we're going to do lateral bound and stick. So it's going to be similar to this, but now we're moving horizontally as well. So I guess it'd be better if I come towards the camera. So basically, same thing, right? Sprinter stance, keep torso braced, and we want to use our momentum here, right? So we want to use the whole body. So we're jumping, right? We're going to do a few of those each side. So, ooh, it's a little hard. So, start a little bit shorter distance. You don't have to go super far. Just, you can start like that for now. Eventually build up to that wider distance. So, nice. See, Tara's a pro here, so easy. Nice. So we were keeping the torso stacked and braced throughout the whole motion. And we were leaning forward. Sorry, I gotta stop. Right. And we were leaning forward, so that was good. No, that's all right. Kettlebell swings. So next we're gonna move on kettlebell swings. So this is really good for power development in the posterior. So just take a squat stance. We're gonna hinge similar to a deadlift. Hinge back, let the dumbbell drop, and then we're gonna keep the torso stacked. Make sure we're flexing through with our glutes, and we're bracing. So we're not really using our body here. We're really just, it's more of a hinge, right? So boom, boom. Just do a couple of those. We'll do 6 to 8 of those. So hinging back, really trying to drive through. Boom. Bracing the core, keeping the ribs stacked. Good. Just do 3 more. Nice. Good. All right. 3 exercises left. We're gonna do GHRs, or we can just do Nordic curls. Doesn't really matter too much. We'll just do Nordic curls. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold your legs down, and you're going to flex your glutes, brace your abs, come down, and push yourself back up. Basically, while I hold those legs down. So. I'm anchoring your ankles down. That doesn't hurt?
No.
Okay, good. Now lean forward, flex those glutes and brace. When you can, push back up. Just gonna do 5 of these. Oh, two more. We'll just do 4. Make sure we're flexing the glutes, bracing the abs. Boom. Thank you for the 5.
I didn't even think of that. That would have been bad.
I was just hoping.
That would have been so bad.
Alright, lastly, second lastly, for the workout, I'm gonna stop talking away. Alright. Second last, we're gonna do calf raises. Basically, find a ledge. Sorry. We got machines for this too. But if you don't have a machine, you don't really need one. So, hold one dumbbell in the opposite hand, use the other hand To balance yourself, you can just do this, literally. So at the bottom, make sure you're flexing your calf. You're flexing the front muscle, so the tibia. And at the top, you're just holding that contraction for a couple seconds. Alright. Go. So at the bottom, flex the tibia, point the toes up to the ceiling at the bottom. So, boom, just stretch, and then hold it for a couple seconds at the top. Nice. That feels right? Alright. Lastly, we're gonna do, I guess it works there. So, lastly we're gonna do some tibia raises. So, like I mentioned before, it's the front muscle. We gotta make sure we train that too. So, lean back against the wall. You can do this anywhere. All we're doing is trying to point our toes to the ceiling. We're pausing for a couple seconds, and then we're coming back down, flexing the calves and stuff. Back up to the ceiling for a couple seconds. And we're just gonna go. This is a high rep thing, so we want to do around 12 to 15 reps. But we're just gonna do 5.
Just like this?
Yeah. Flexing the quads, and with knees straight. You don't want to flex too hard. Don't lock out your knees completely. Just,
Okay.
yeah, that's fine. As long as you do that. You're not using any weight anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But just knees. But yeah, the intention here is we're trying to point as hard as you can to the ceiling. Pause it for a couple seconds. As hard as you can to the ceiling. Should stop. So yeah. You want to do 5 reps because it's a smaller muscle, so you gotta do a lot to just get it to work. But yeah, that's the idea.
I think it's my squishy shoes right now.
That's good though.
Yeah.
That actually adds resistance.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, like having a heel, that's
Yeah.
a way to progress. So if
Okay.
you have flat feet,
Yeah.
like if you have flat shoes, that's a good way to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that actually. It's good. Well, lastly, pull down. So the workout's done. Chill. Stationary stuff.
You just
Just like a quick
yeah.
cut, yeah. Just cooling down now. So up here, this should be able to hold the conversation easily.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Sweet. I can't hold the conversation.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, I'm gonna hold a conversation, but we can't.
Oh shit. Okay. We're gonna do hamstring stretch now. I can stop doing that. So next, hamstring stretch. So we're gonna use a heavy band for this. What we're gonna do, ground, put the band around the toes, the balls of your feet, and we're just gonna do one leg at a time. And all we're gonna do is keep our knee slightly bent and pull back, right? Just feel that stretch. Now, depending on how much we bend our knee, kind of stretch it in a different spot. So we can play around with this. And to make it worse, what you can do is floss. So flossing is where we're tensing and releasing. So moving our calf down and up. Oh. So the reason why that sucks is because you're stretching the sciatic nerve. Oh. Because it runs along the something along there. Oh. So we'll do that. Wait, 1 second. Sorry. And then we're gonna just go into a push down, come around, feel that adductor stretch, and come back around. Just do a few of those as well. Okay. Yeah, so get some tension. Good. Stretch. Good. You can point your toes now. And then pull back a bit further. Pull your toes, pull back a bit further. And then pull your toes down in that position. Down side. So we're just going to hold that for about 15 to 30 seconds. Like 5 seconds. Okay, now we're going to drive the heel down against the band. So pull the band, make sure we're, so pull the band harder. Yep. Now we're going to let that leg come back out, bend the knee slightly. Yep, come back around. Boom. we're just gonna do a few of those circles. Feeling that stretch. Okay, now we're gonna do the other side. Feels alright? No pain, like that pain?
It's good. Oh, this makes me look tired.
Yeah. If the leg's shaking, then it means you're doing it right. Good. Now, you don't have to hold it for too long, like 15 seconds. You can do like 5-second pulse and relax, 5-second pulse, relax, whatever works for you, right? If you're a sadist or masochist and you love the pain, you can just hold it there for as long as you want. But some people can't handle it, so pulses work really well. Good. Good couple of those. Now we're going to proceed to hip 90-90. It's more for glute / hip stretch. I like this one because it's really simple and it hits a lot of things in one go. Because you kind of just stay in the same position. It's like a lazy / harder position to learn. It's weird. But anyway, so 90-90, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Keep your torso upright, right? We want to do a quick glute stretch first. So in this position, we're going to rotate onto this leg. And we're just going to try to keep our torso stacked on this hip, right? Driving, we're going to do a similar thing to what we did with the hamstring curl, right? So we're going to flex and release for a couple seconds. So we're going to push our knee down and then release, breathe into it. We can also pull our knee up and breathe into it. So we're going to do a few of those on that side. Then we're going to, in the same position, we're going to do the same thing, or similar thing. We're going to rotate onto this leg, keeping our torso high. We're going to imagine driving this foot into the ground. And then that sets our hip. We're going to hold that. And we're going to try to bring the foot up now. Anyway, we'll get to it. That's a lot.
So,
99, so yeah, that. So we're going to start with the glute one. So we're trying to bring this shoulder over to this hip, this knee. Yep. So at the same time, we're trying to imagine, right, we're trying to bring our lower back and the spine to the ceiling. So we're keeping that back straight. Yep, and then we're driving that knee down into the floor. So push, hold that for a few seconds. 1, 2, 3, and then relax, breathe. Do some of those, push again. High as you can. And that chest, keeping that spine high. Now pull the knee up now. While trying to do the same thing, right?
Oh, okay.
Pull the knee up now, in that position. You feel it in the inside of your leg?
yeah.
Yep, good. Okay. Now, we're gonna let, now, we're gonna stay in that position now, and then we're gonna think about driving that foot down. We're literally trying to drive this foot. We're trying to rotate from the hip. As long as I can bring that focus to the
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Now, we're gonna hold that.
Yeah.
In that position. And you can lean back a little bit to start. Try to bring that. Yeah, I can't do it anymore. So just you don't have to bring it off the floor, but just that intention of flexing that muscle.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Couple seconds. Relax. Boom again. Keep that hip on the floor. Couple seconds. And then do it one more time. Keep that knee rotating this way.
Yeah.
Good. So we're just going to do the other side now. And the whole spine, bring that spine to the ceiling. Start from the lower spine, the lower back. Okay. And we're just last one. So bring this knee back a bit more. 90 degrees. Cool. 90 degrees now. So driving on the floor, bring the pelvis down. Yep. Now we're trying to hold that position while bringing that foot down.
Oh, this is my best one more than one.
Because you have no internal rotation. I'll do this with you because I'm horrible at this. So like, if you look at me, right? Okay, go anyway. So that comes from like either how you squat or just your anatomy, right? So it's either like you've been doing something wrong and you're just really tight for some reason in there, or your hips are just built up, so you don't have that much internal rotation. But we can like improve it with like a little bit of joint mobilization, activation, strengthening. So we can definitely open up the hip a little bit more and get a little bit more rolling there. Like our hip joint isn't permanent, you know, it can mold and change. And it just takes a lot of practice, a lot of time. Yep, so I think that concludes, no. We still got 2 upper stretches a lot easier. So you can either find a post or something, or you can use a partner. All we're going to do is we're going to do a lat stretch. So we're going to grab my hand, and we're just going to keep our torso like a hip square. We're going to lean back into the opposite side. So if I'm stretching this side, I'm leaning back to this side. So if you're stretching that side, you're leaning back to that side. Yeah. We're just letting that back stretch. So we're trying to stretch the lats here. Let the shoulder come forward. As far as you can. The outside. Relax a bit, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So around 15 seconds each side, usually pretty good. Lastly, we're going to do a pec / bicep stretch. So we want a wall, basically. It's pretty simple. What we're going to do is put a hand on the wall, drag it up until you feel that. You don't want to go too high. So you feel that stretch in your bicep. Drive your palm down into the wall. Pull away. Brace your abs. Hold that for a few seconds. And come back. We'll just do a few of those.
Wow.
So it doesn't have to be too high. You can so, yeah, drive that palm into the wall. Really try to drive that shift away. So shoot. Bring it. A couple seconds. Okay. And then you can relax and just do a couple of those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's, don't want to hold it for too long because it's kind of painful, but you can just do a few pulses. Nice. Nice. Do that side. Nice. And we're flexing as well, flexing the abs as well. Nice. One more. Good. All right. That concludes our workout. Thank you for watching. Thank you for doing it all.